Hello students, in today's class we will look into how microbes helps us in preparation of many household products. So first of all we can see how curdling of milk takes place. There are certain products where microbes plays important role in their preparation. We can see that curd is always prepared from milk and microbes play a very important role in it. Next is baking. We see in a bakery shop different varieties of cakes with different flavor. It is all possible because of useful microbes. Next, cheese production. In production of cheese also, it involves the activity of microbes. Now first of all, let us see how curd making takes place. Which is that specific microbe which is responsible for curdling of milk? So microbe responsible for curdling of milk is none other than LAB, L-A-B, which is lactic acid bacteria. Curd contains bacteria Lactobacillus, which is a lactic acid bacteria, and this bacteria itself is responsible for curdling of milk. Lactobacillus, which is always present in the curd, whenever we eat curd, we are actually consuming this lactobacillus bacteria as well. So lactobacillus is a friendly bacteria. It does no harm when inside our body. Instead, it helps us to treat and prevent disease like diarrhea. It also helps in breaking down of food. In the course of digestion, whatever we eat is broken down into simpler form. We already know that. So we can say that this bacteria also helps in digesting our food. This bacteria also helps in absorption of nutrients. There is a question how milk gets converted into curd. Whenever we prepare curd, what do is we take milk in a bowl and we simply add a spoonful of curd into it and leave it without disturbing it overnight. And the next morning we find that the entire milk has converted into curd. Now this spoonful of curd which we added to the milk contains the lactobacillus bacteria. And this small amount of curd is also termed as a starter as it starts the process of curdling. This lactobacillus converts the sugar in the milk into lactic acid, and the sugar which is present in the milk is none other than lactose. And how this lactose is converted into lactic acid? By the process of fermentation. The lactobacillus undergoes anaerobic respiration in absence of oxygen and converts lactose into lactic acid. Now this lactic acid coagulates and partly digests the milk protein. Now what are the milk protein? There are two prime protein found in milk, casein and liquid whey. The milk protein casein is digested by the lactic acid and therefore the texture of the milk changes. It becomes thicker when curdling of the milk takes place. Now due to the formation of lactic acid, another thing happens. There is a sour taste in the curd. The nutritional content of the curd also changes. What I mean is that the nutritional content when it is a whole milk is different to when it is changed into curd. As you can see here, for example, vitamin B12 is increased, which is less in milk. Now, this curdling takes place at suitable temperature and pH. If it is too hot or too cold, the curdling will not be proper. At suitable temperature, the lactobacillus can act properly, that is, it can grow and multiply, and the entire process of fermentation, that is the anaerobic respiration in absence of oxygen, can take place in a very proper manner. Now let us talk about the work of microbes in field of baking. Let us see how microbes helps us in the process of baking. The microbe which is used is yeast. Yeast belongs to a group of fungi and is used as an agent in baking. Now there is a term that we need to take a note of, that is raising agent. What raising agent actually is? You might have observed that the dough when prepared for baking purpose is left to rest for some time. Afterwards it is seen that it becomes fluffy. How does this happen? What makes the dough expand, or how are tiny holes created in it? This happens due to the raising agent, something that raises the dough, and this is what this yeast does. The most commonly used yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and it is often termed as brewer's yeast. This yeast converts carbohydrate in the dough to carbon dioxide. This process again takes place by the process of fermentation. Therefore, due to the carbon dioxide formation, the rising of dough takes place as the carbon dioxide escapes. It creates the pores in the dough. Now let us look into dough making for different food items. The lactic acid bacteria ferments the idli or dosa batter. This lactic acid bacteria are naturally present in urad seeds or urad pulse, whatever you say. When the rice and urad pulse is mixed, the lactic acid bacteria starts the process of fermentation, and as a result, lactic acid will be formed along with carbon dioxide, and due to this carbon dioxide, the spongy texture is seen. Here we do not need any kind of starter. Let us quickly discuss about cheese production. Curdling of milk is done to a certain limit. Here, milk is separated into solid curd and liquid whey. Solid curd and liquid whey. The starter used here is lemon juice, or if we do not have lemon juice, we can also use vinegar instead. After some time, the solid curd separates from the translucent liquid, that is the liquid whey. The lemon juice or the vinegar used here changes the pH, and it also initiates the coagulation of casein, which separates from the liquid whey. Now the lactose in the milk gets converted into lactic acid, and because of this, the solid curd gets a distinct sour taste. Now for preparing cheese, we do not require liquid whey. So what do, or what is done? This liquid whey is removed and only the solid curd is used to make either soft cheese or hard cheese. Now this softness or hardness of the cheese depends upon the water content which is present in it. For example, if we say paneer, so paneer is a soft cheese. Why it is soft? Because as compared to the other packet cheese, which is termed as the hard cheese, it contains water more than hard cheese. Now, which microbes are responsible in cheese making? There are two types of bacteria involved in it. One is the mesophilic bacteria and the other is thermophilic bacteria. Now, what are these mesophilic bacteria and thermophilic bacteria? As you can see on the screen, mesophilic bacteria are those which can survive at room temperature, whereas the thermophilic bacteria are bacteria which has affinity for heat. That means they can live at higher temperature. Mesophilic bacteria are mostly used to prepare soft cheese, whereas thermophilic bacteria are used to prepare hard cheese. For the process of cheese making, as we have already discussed, a starter is needed for curdling process. Now, how do different cheese get different taste and flavor even when the process is same for all? It is all because for different type of bacteria used for preparing different types of cheese.